Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. If you watched me regularly, you know that I say whenever someone makes a threat or warns somebody of retaliatory moves, you always have to be able to fulfill or follow through with those threats or warnings. Otherwise your bluff will make you look bad when it's going to be uncovered. So if you say, well, you're doing this, and I'm going to do this, and you don't do it when that occurs, then you look very bad. You lose credibility, and that's not a good thing. On the other hand, it's a good thing because you can camouflage. You become unreliable. So that means they can't assess your next move. Because they say, wait a minute, we can't have a pattern here because here they did like this, and in the same circumstance they did differently here. So then you are just deceiving the enemy. Now in this case we have Russia and obviously the West and the territory of Ukraine with its fighters. The problem is the West, in my assessment, since the beginning of this military operation or the war, I said that the country that helps with a needle my enemy, that country is my enemy, and that's involved in my scuffle. So if you provide my enemy with one bullet to shoot me, you are involved right there. And if I say that, I should be ready and or obviously prepared to retaliate somehow against you, the one who are with these guys, who are supporting these guys actually being involved. Well, Russia so far said it in a veiled way that, well, the West is involved. Yes, the West is this and this. Now, Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, said it straight. And I'm glad that he said it. Now, the next step. What are you going to do about it? Anything? Well, and if anything, what is that anything? This article comes from Associated Press. It's from today, December 1st, 2022. Russian Foreign Minister says US and NATO directly involved in Ukraine conflict. We knew that for a long time. And the clearest example was, if you don't want to say, okay, the supply of weapons is not direct involvement. Okay, if you don't want that to be considered a threshold of being directly involved, how about you providing information, intelligence to my enemy to be able to know where and how to shoot my targets? How about that? Are you involved? It's like, I'm fighting with a neighbor and we just us, and I don't know it's dark and I don't know where he's at, and my neighbor comes over and say, Emil, I have this night vision binoculars or goggles, and I can tell you where exactly your neighbor is. Is right there. Those are the coordinates. Hit there. I put my scope, bang, and I eliminate my neighbor. Was this guy directly involved in the fight? Yes. Why? Because that particular action that he employed, if I would have employed it, would have been considered part of my strategy, my tactic, my military, achievement. It's something that I needed in order to eliminate that guy. That was the definitive, or how should I put it, the ultimate help, support that I needed. Without that one, I would not know where those guys are. But you came and say, hey, Emil, we're like this, okay, you go to that coordinate now, ready? You got it? Good, boom. That's how it is. So you were involved in this since the sinking of Moskva. Moskva, remember, the flagship of the Russian Federation's Black Sea, fleet. You remember that one? They said that it was, and they came forward, and that was in March or something, when the Americans came and said, well, we help them with the information, we get them the coordinates, yeah. And then they said, wait, should never talk about it. I made videos about it, reading their articles, the free media's articles, not the Russian articles. They said it. And then they said, no, you can never speak about this. The Pentagon came and said, yeah, we help these guys to do it. So now Lavrov, so that's been in their direct involvement. The problem is the Russians did not want to take on that and say, hey, you are directly involved. Then what? Are you going to do anything about it? No. Why? Because you're weak. So that would have showed as weakness. Now they are coming and say, yeah, they are. Again, weakness. Are you going to do something? If not, weakness. So, Russian foreign minister on Thursday accused the West of becoming directly involved in the conflict in Ukraine by supplying it with weapons and training its soldiers. I think that Lavrov doesn't know yet, but Shoigu said, I'm just kidding, he doesn't know. Shoigu said, actually, there's NATO personnel operating Western weapons that were delivered to Ukraine, not Ukrainians. That's what he said. Now, if that's not direct involvement, I don't know what it is. Remember, they claim that the Brits, the British intelligence, the Navy British intelligence, that's what they said it, were the ones responsible with that drone attack, 16 drones on Sevastopol, on the Russian fleet. Remember that one? With aquatic drones and air drones. They said the British intelligence, Navy, blah, 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 located, they gave us the town where they are. Excuse me, was that a lie? Could be, but they said it. But if you said it, isn't that direct involvement? It is. So even if you lie, if you said that, that proves again that you know those guys are directly involved in this. Remember, the United States has about, I can't remember how many, they said at one point about 1,000 if I remember correctly, inspectors, arms inspectors in Ukraine, overseeing where the weapons supplied by the West go to. Like, okay, that goes to that battalion over there, they go to this detachment here and so on. So they don't end up in anybody else's hands that's not supposed to get them, or on the black market, which is the same thing. So do you think those guys are just over there dressed in a nice suit and just walking around and say, yeah, that I'm glad that goes over there, yes, let me take that, okay, thank you very much. Do you think that's the way it is? I don't think that a bit, all right? They are trainers, again, they are military advisors. I direct you to the Vietnam War and you learn more about the military advisors involved there, okay? Just read about it if you don't know it yet and see how they were just, yes, you just do this, yes, you just do that. And then the Gulf of Tonkin incident occurred, which was like, you know how that was. And then what? All those guys were already there. All right, Lavrov said that Russia's strikes on Ukrainian energy facilities and other key infrastructure that have left millions without power, heating, and water were intended to weaken Ukraine's military potential and derail the shipment of Western weapons. You can call it however you want. So as I said, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov on Thursday accused West of becoming directly involved in a conflict in Ukraine by supplying it with weapons and trainings. As I said, much more than that. And says, he claims, Lavrov, and I'm quoting, "You shouldn't say that the US and NATO aren't taking part in this war. You are directly participating in it." End quote. Lavrov said in a video call with reporters, and I'm quoting again, "and not just by providing weapons, but also by training personnel. You are training their military on your territory, on the territories of Britain, Germany, Italy, and other countries." Well, it's not. I mean, I think providing the information to the guys to know where to shoot is more important than training those guys over there. But even that, it says here, the infrastructure that is targeted by those attacks is used to ensure the combat potential of the Ukrainian armed forces and the nationalist battalions. They want to destroy it. Ukraine and the West have accused Russia of targeting key civilian infrastructure in order to reduce morale and force Ukraine into peace talks on Moscow's conditions. Yeah, they say we remain open to talks. We never ask for talks, but always said that we are ready to listen to those who are interested in a negotiated settlement. And it says here that commenting on the they were supposed to discuss with the Americans. I think they meet in Turkey, and I think Turkey Turkey, regarding the cooperation in nuclear, trying to make sure that there's a stability in the world with START program, whatever that was. And he says that the goal has been announced to defeat Russia on the battlefield or even destroy Russia. He said, how can the goal of defeating Russia not bear significance for strategic stability, considering that they want to destroy a key strategic stability actor? He said, commenting on Russia's decision to postpone a round of nuclear arms control talks with the United States. That's what he said. Well, I think I think that United States and some European countries, NATO countries, are directly involved in this. I mean, I would consider it that way. As I said, those take just the examples I provided you with, and you can't call that differently unless you say the only time that we can consider, that's a threshold right there beyond which we consider your direct involvement. If you have a I don't know, American-born military using an American manufactured weapon, shooting a bullet, killing a Russian military in Ukraine, a territory of Ukraine, only then that is a threshold beyond which we will consider that we are actively involved. I mean, really? I mean, you know, it's like you got a rapist. A rapist will not be considered a rapist until he, I don't know, I'm going to be a little bit, until the contact, unwanted contact, her unwanted, his wanted contact will occur beyond 5 minutes. So if he's doing everything what he's doing within the 5 minutes time, that's not rape. If it's beyond, then we consider it rape. Basically, this is what these guys are saying. Well, no, we're not involved. We're just for about 4 minutes and 59 seconds finish. Oh, we were not. That's not considered that, you know. Really, I mean, that's basically a stupid argument. But is Russia going to do anything? No. Why? Because this is a controlled war. United States, I'm not talking about the NATO members. Those are just weasels over there, just hyenas hiding behind a big lion who's fighting another big lion. That's what it is. Or jackals, how we want to call them, behind. So these guys have a control war. That's what it is. So yeah, you can say now, even you can say, yes, you are involved. And the other guy will say, yeah, so you better shut up and do what you've been doing, and we'll see who's winning here. Whatever winning means. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.